The Northwestern Railway is the only branch of British Railways that still commercially uses steam. The engines, however, still break down from time to time and require a periodical overhaul. Despite this, due to the scarcity and shutdown of manufacturers, parts for these engines are hard to come by, and I'm sorry to say that what can be obtained is often second-hand from those lost to the smelter's torch. One afternoon, James was dropping off a goods train at Wellsworth for Boko to take over. When he arrived, however, Boko was absent. Instead, he was greeted by the Fat Controller.
Boko is going to be taking the Flying Kipper tonight while Henry is under overhaul. We need an engine to head to Barrow's Scrapyard for supplies to be sent to Croven's Gate to complete it.
Scrapyard. Those words echoed in James's head, and he was frightened at the mere mention of it. For many engines, the scrapyard means an end to being, their existence coming to an end, a time where they will no longer be really useful. James has heard tales from the other railway for diesels bragging about the scrapping of steam engines, taking their last breaths as their agonizing wails fade to nothing.
What?
James exclaimed, both in terror and anger.
Why can't you have Bear take the job? I'm much too important for the work of a grimy old diesel.
Sir Topham Hatt scowled.
I will not tolerate your treatment towards your fellow engines. Now, James, need I remind you that I can take away your red paint?
James gulped, remembering the threat he had faced after his bootlace incident.
Yes, sir. I'll be on my way, sir,
he sheepishly responded, and made his way to Vickerstown to prepare. Now James, much like the other engines who have handled the express service, has been to Barrow before, as it's the last stop in the mainline service for the Northwestern, but the furthest he had ever gone was the turntables for his return journey. He never ventured off beyond them, and knowing his destination made him worry immensely. When he reached the scrapyard, he was eerily quiet. Not a sound was made beyond the giant ironworks building looming over. To the left was a mess of trucks containing all sorts of engine parts no longer to be used. To the right was a line of locomotives awaiting their final breakdown to the point where they'll be unrecognizable from what they once were. James didn't dare make a loud noise of his own. He wanted to make a quick in and out of this trip so that he wouldn't spend more time than he needed to. When he found the trucks, he crawled up to them as silently as he could. James inched closer to the trucks he needed to grab, and everything seemed to be going smoothly at first. However, James misjudged his distance and rammed the trucks much harder than he anticipated to.
Is that the smelters?
A voice called out from behind him. James didn't dare make another move, hoping the voice would go away. However, shortly following was nothing more than a chorus of voices, all behind and around him, of engines desperately hoping for someone to help them.
No, that be of another engine.
It can't be left like this.
You got to save me.
You gotta help us. We don't
It's
want to
all
die.
the end for us. It's all the end. Gotta do something quickly before they get back.
We can't be lost.
The chorus of engine cries grew louder and louder, echoing throughout the entire yard, all until it came to a silence at the sound of a loud, blaring horn.
Silence!
A booming voice followed. Soon, a gentle purring was heard, inching closer and closer, accompanied by another.
Did you hear that, Harry? Sounds like a new arrival's come, but well, it don't sound like a new diesel to me. You're right. In fact, it looks like a hunk of rusty red scrap iron. Let's get him.
Soon, James felt a thud against the front of his train, and that was all that he needed to send his pistons pumping in reverse, desperate to escape. Their lights flashed on as their motors began to violently whir.
Hey, get back here!
One of the diesels shouted as both raced after him. James whistled out of fright as he sped past the line of broken engines. He could hear the squeaking of metal, but didn't know that the sound came from the gates to the yard beginning to close in an attempt to trap him. With a shrieking crack, he burst through the iron door, damaging his buffers greatly, but he didn't care. He was far more focused on rushing back home to safety. The Fat Controller was waiting for James to give further instructions to him, when he suddenly heard a whistle. Approaching the platform to Vickerstown Station was James, and with a shrill wail of his brakes, he came to a stop.
Sir, they're after me! The diesels are trying to...
Sir Topham Hatt cut him off.
That's enough, James.
I know that there's been some mishaps involving diesels, but this has gone too far.
But sir...
I will discuss this with you tomorrow. I don't want to hear about it now. He went off to head home. Donald came to pick up the delivery, as James sulked in the station, alone.